Hello, my name is Jara. I work as a doctor in the UK's National Health Service. I also study evidence-based medicine at the University of Oxford. Lately, I've been coming across a very specific concern about the COVID-19 vaccines, whether they contain ingredients from pork or pigs. Many people told me that they're actually hesitant to take this vaccine because they've been told it contains pork ingredients. It's not entirely absurd to ask this question. Some vaccines do contain pork ingredients. For example, a specific MMR vaccine and one of the chickenpox vaccines, although both of these vaccines have alternatives that do not contain pork ingredients. But the situation is a bit different for COVID. Most of us will not have the luxury of being able to choose between COVID vaccines and will be lucky to get offered even one of them. So I thought I'd make this video to address this concern and give a definitive answer on whether there is any pork ingredient in the COVID vaccines. I'll explain everything in simple terms and I promise you will be able to understand all of it. So let's start with what actually is in a vaccine. There are two main ingredients. One of them is water. Most injected vaccines will have a few drops of liquid. The other one is the active ingredients. This is the vaccine component that protects us from disease. It is made from viruses or bacteria in a way that it does not make us ill when introduced inside our body, but it prepares and trains our immune system. So if the real virus or bacteria invades our body, the immune system can recognize it and launch an attack without delay to fight it off before we even realize anything or fall sick. This is how vaccine prevents disease. Apart from these two components, water and active ingredients, vaccines contain a few other stuff to help improve our immune response or things that act as stabilizers and preservatives. All of these combined weigh only a few milligrams, which is 1 gram divided by 1,000. Some of these ingredients are, say, aluminium salts, gelatin, etc. And a kind of gelatin can actually be derived from pigs. Together, we will take a look at whether COVID vaccines contain gelatin derived from pigs. But before that, we need to know a bit more about gelatin, so I'll talk about that very briefly. Many medicines and some vaccines contain gelatin. We get gelatin from collagen, which is a kind of protein found in the bones, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments of animals such as chicken, cattle, pigs, and fish. Gelatin, which is made from the collagen of pigs, is called porcine gelatin. And this porcine gelatin is used in some vaccines. Some of you may have used gelatin in cooking, say in making custards. The gelatin used in vaccines is different in that it is highly purified and broken down by water into very small molecules called peptides. It is broken down so much that we cannot identify where this gelatin came from. I will give you an example. Very sophisticated scientific tests were carried out on the nasal flu vaccine, which contains porcine gelatin, the stuff from pigs, to see if we could detect pig DNA in it. But nothing was found. This essentially means that the product is broken down to such an extent that we cannot identify the original source of the gelatin. So why is porcine gelatin used in vaccines, despite reservations from some religious and cultural communities? Is it really necessary to make vaccines with porcine gelatin? Some vaccines contain live virus. Although they're live, they're weakened to a great extent and would not be able to cause disease in healthy people. So some of these live vaccines contain porcine gelatin as stabilizers. It ensures that the safety and efficacy of the vaccine is not compromised during transport and storage. Now you may wonder whether we have alternative stabilizers. We do. Gelatin is not the only kind of stabilizer used in vaccines. Other products like sucrose, lactose, sorbitol, mannitol, glycerol, urea, and a whole host of other things are used as stabilizers. However, a stabilizer is chosen after looking at a few things, like, is the stabilizer stable? Is it of good quality? Do we have adequate supply of this stuff? After looking at all of these factors, the most suitable stabilizer is chosen for a vaccine. Okay, so now you know which ingredient from pork or pigs can be in vaccines. It's the porcine gelatin. Now you can look at the ingredient list of any vaccine and decide for yourself whether there is any pork ingredient in it. Till now, we know that 232 vaccines are being developed across the world to fight COVID. Of them, 60 are being trialled in humans. I have not looked through the ingredient list of all of them, but I did do it for the 3 vaccines that have passed all the hurdles and have been approved by regulators in the UK and the US. The one by Pfizer BioNTech, Moderna and Oxford-AstraZaneca. Let's take a look at the ingredients of the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine. You can see viral particles at the top, that's our active ingredient. There is water at the bottom, but no mention of gelatin or porcine gelatin. Right, let's now look at the ingredient list of the vaccine by Pfizer-BioNTech. You can see different ingredients, but again, no gelatin or porcine gelatin. Last one now, let's go to the ingredients of the vaccine that Moderna developed. Again, no mention of gelatin or porcine gelatin whatsoever. So that means none of these vaccines contain porcine gelatin. So if you're offered any of these vaccines, please do not give up the opportunity because you're concerned about porcine gelatin, ingredient from pigs or pork. Now you might ask me why I didn't just give a simple yes/no answer at the beginning and not waste so much of your time. That's because I wanted you to understand all of it and get a total picture so that the next person or the next post on social media does not make you confused. A simple yes/no answer would probably not generate that amount of conviction or confidence. That's it for today. Take care, please stay safe. See you in the next video.